this video I'm going to show you some of the monastery grounds. So this Buddhist monastery is located in the midst of forests. All around it are forests and there are mountains. It's a very beautiful place. Here is a pond with many fish. You can see fish. And a good thing is that in this monastery they have only vegetarian food, which is quite unusual in this country, because here even Buddhists eat meat because meat eating is so prevalent. But fortunately in this particular monastery they eat only vegetarian food, which is great because I don't need to worry whether I'm accidentally eating something containing meat. Here are some of the houses. These are dormitories for lay people to stay. I haven't explored this place myself properly because it's huge. It's a huge place and it will take time for me to explore it. And as you can see, there are some girls walking there, and all lay people have to wear white clothes. And here are private huts for single meditators. So if lay people stay longer, they are sometimes allocated private huts. And you can see they're growing banana trees and papaya trees. Here is the papaya tree. So they are growing their own fruit. They have many fruit here. With so much land, they can easily be self-sufficient. They haven't used the land to its maximum in terms of food production, but they could easily be self-sufficient. But I think the way that they receive food here is also that people donate, give them food every day. They prepare them, I believe. And also I saw some kitchen workers, so monastery itself prepares food also. So as you can see, it's a very beautiful and peaceful place. And also there are small rivers, not streams I guess you call it, I don't know, but it's a beautiful place. So soon I'm going to go back to meditate. It's around 20 or 15 minutes left till the evening meditation, and so I find meditating here very easy because meditation is very varied. It's good for beginners. So you have the breath awareness meditation for around an hour. Then you have lying down meditation when you focus on your breath when you're lying down. There is also walking meditation. Then there's meditation where you focus on your breath, but you don't have to sit cross-legged if you don't want. You can sit however you want, which is again very easy for convenient for those people who are new to meditation. And interestingly, today, so it's my first proper day today in this Buddhist monastery, and after the talk I really like the teacher. He's a good meditator. He's has deep teachings, which is very unusual in these places where they accept foreigners, because usually what happens is that when such Buddhist monasteries accept foreigners, the teaching is very watered down, just for beginners, because mainly what they receive is beginners, lay people from the West. But this particular teacher is extremely goes into very deep topics, and his mind is very sharp. So I'm blessed with this teacher. So because I feel the depth of his teachings, I and some other meditators stayed after his lecture to ask some private questions, and I did not even have any questions in mind. I just wanted to, when I meet people who are very intelligent, I want to get as much time with them as possible, to learn as much as possible, because it's so unusual to meet people like this, so unusual to meet people with wisdom, that when I know that when I come across such a person, I want to know everything about them so that I learn from them. So we stayed after the lecture, and people were asking questions, he was answering, and then I, in response to one of his teachings about the knower, which is basically there is a mind and then there is a knower, and you can understand that there are two minds, and I told that in some of my previous articles and videos. You can understand that there are two minds when you're aware. So when you observe your thinking, when you observe your body, there comes a stage where you understand that you're not the mind, that you're not the body. And this is called, as he says, separation of the knower, because you are the knower, that mind that is always aware. But the mind that always chatters, this is not your real mind. So for example, in Carlos Castaneda book, Don Juan tells that this second mind, the fake mind, is given to us by our oppressors, the shadowy beings. But in Buddhism, it's taught that, as far as I understand, that this mind is actually a collection of samskaras, impressions. So these are two different opinions. But basically, whatever that it is, that is not you. You are not that mind, but your mind is the awareness, that a knower. You're always aware. That is truly you. So there comes a stage where, because of the constant awareness, the knower separates from the mind. So I was really interested for him to elaborate on that. So I raised my hand to ask a question, and I said that there were many times in my life that I knew that I was not the body. It happened to me many times, but the problem is that the mind, the fake mind, tricks me into identifying with the body again. And so I asked, so when the knower permanently separates from the mind, from the body, from the fake mind, from the body, is that the time that a person can be called enlightened, when this change happens permanently? Oh wow, I think these are edible fruits. Let me see. I think, yeah, nice. Anyway, and so I asked this question, and to my surprise, that monk, he was surprised, and then he said, you have definitely practiced meditation in your previous lives. I think he said many previous lives, but cannot be exactly sure. And he said, and you achieved you achieved a lot of spiritual progress in your past lives, and that's the reason you're here. It's not by accident that this happened. Everyone was looking at me. It was so funny. And he said, exactly what you're telling is true, that enlightenment is when the knower permanently separates from the fake mind, and obviously disidentifies from the body. But he told me actually the knower is never connected with mind. It's always separate. It's just this illusion that they are connected, because I told him that the mind always tricks me with identifying with it and the body, but he says that it's actually they're always the knower and the mind are always separate. It just seems that you get separated. So according to Buddhism, enlightenment is when you're constantly aware that you're not the body. And I experienced it many times, but those are just the glimpses. When, for example, one of the best ways to understand, to get to this realization is to do breath meditation. Because when you focus on your breath, when you really focus on your breath without thoughts, there will come a stage where you will start observing yourself breathing. So that is the stage when the knower separates itself from the body and from the fake mind. So I'm going to go now for meditation, and so I think that's all I wanted to share with you today. I'm very glad that in this monastery internet, I can use mobile internet, and mobile network is working here, so I'm very lucky. I will be able to make videos, which is great, but whenever I have time, then I will be able to make videos. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.